Good afternoon and evening, everyone. On behalf of the class of 2022, I would like to thank all family, friends, and distinguished guests for coming tonight to celebrate the graduation and successes of the class of 2022. I would like to take a moment to recognize our very own Mr. Merrill, Mr. Corrigan, and Ms. Berman. Before leaving us for a new opportunity, she was a pivotal person in our school community, and we forgive you, Ms. Berman. I would also like to give a huge thank you to our class advisors, Mr. Cochran and Ms. Staples, as long as our amazing student government. Without them and our student government over the past 4 years, some of our amazing events such as prom and Froshmore would have never happened. Alongside them, I'd also like to thank all janitors, lunch ladies, sports coaches, and all their hard work and dedication for us over the years. I'd also like to give a special shout out to our athletic trainer, Dee, for all she does for us athletes, wherever you are, Dee. Last, but certainly not least, we have to give a huge shout out and thank you to our beloved teachers. They've taught us so much in school and in life, and we are forever indebted to them for this, and we thank you. Now I would like to take a second to introduce our very own Camille Hodgkins for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Camille. That was beautiful. Now I would like to welcome to the stage the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Kukenberger, for her to say some words for us.
Thank you for that introduction, Max, and congratulations. Good evening and welcome. My name is Julie Kukenberger, and I am the proud superintendent of the Melrose Public Schools. Congratulations to the class of 2022. I'm so honored to be here with you and surrounded by many people who love and care about you. Thank you to all of the dedicated Melrose educators who provided you with support and encouragement over the years. Thank you to Mayor Brodeur and our Melrose School Committee members for your commitment to our kids, staff, and community. I am beyond grateful for all that you do. I especially want to thank Principal Merrill and his team for their perseverance and dedication in ensuring that all of your senior events and celebrations went off without a hitch. Congratulations to all the parents, family members, and friends who have supported these graduates in reaching this milestone, including the fail-forward moments, successes, and efforts along the way. This foundation will support the many challenges and opportunities ahead. Graduates, you have accomplished so much and have been beacons of hope and endless potential for all of us. Your collective strength and wisdom is truly impressive. Over the past 4 years, you have proven that you can overcome unthinkable challenges and adversity. You have proven that you are flexible, agile, empathetic, and compassionate young people. You have proven that you can advocate for yourself and others. You have proven that you can meet and exceed expectations set before you. And finally, you have proven that you are ready to graduate from Melrose High School. You've also proven that you're ready to take on more independence and responsibility as you begin to chart your path forward beyond Melrose High School. Now I challenge you to take a pause. Enjoy this moment, this phase in your growth and development. Take a deep breath and take it all in. Before you know it, you'll be on to the next phase. It might look like graduating college, entering careers, traveling the world, pursuing your dreams, or maybe you might be thinking about building a family of your own. Enjoy the time you have now. Slow down and embrace every second of your youth. More responsibilities will come, that's guaranteed. This past weekend, I was reminded of how important time really is. We went camping near Lake Ontario, and my 8-year-old daughter and one of her besties, her also 8-year-old cousin, had a chance to enter into a new stage of their development, a stage of increased independence, agency, and responsibility. Our campground was positioned near the camp store, which I brought them to several times. I tried to be patient as they ogled over all of the cheap toys, candy, and camping supplies they all of a sudden always needed. To be honest, there were moments when I found myself beginning to feel impatient. However, I chose to take a deep breath and take in that moment instead. Then they asked if they could go to the store by themselves, alone. I paused. Caregivers, you may remember a moment like this, a moment when all of a sudden they need you a little less. I hesitated, but Grandma said yes. Here are the rules, and we trusted that they would be safe. And then I stepped back and watched a pattern of behavior emerge. The daily routine quickly became then asking if they could do jobs around the campsite to earn money to go to the store, by themselves, of course. This pattern was repeated at least twice a day. Each time, they gained more skills, more independence, and more responsibility. Honestly, this made me think of all of you, graduates. It made me think about your families and your shared moments like today, where you'll take one more step, become more independent, more responsible, and more you. And it made me realize how important it is to cherish the moments. The days, weeks, months, and years can come and go so fast, but the moments can last forever if you let them. As you enter into the next phase, please don't be in a rush. Take your time, sit back, take it all in, and think about how important each moment is. Before you know it, you'll be all grown up with plenty of responsibilities and jobs to go around. Although your path will be unique and personalized, please know that you can travel both ways. You will always have a place back here in Melrose and in the Melrose Public Schools. Graduates, I wish you love, hope, and joy as you enter the next phase in your journey of life. Remember that you are incredible and we are beyond proud of you. I will end by sharing a quote. A.A. Milne was an English author best known for his books about a teddy bear named Winnie the Pooh and his dear friend Christopher Robin. Remember, graduates, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Congratulations, class of 2022. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kukenberger. Now, there have been two certainties in the Melrose High School world. First certainty, at least one Fogarty brother was going to show up to school in a mullet. And the second certainty that if you ever needed anything, the next two people coming up to speak were the people to go look at. These two students are two exemplary students. They show up in the classroom and outside, and just overall people you want to hang around with. Now, for the welcoming address, I'd like to welcome Drew Harrington and Brigid McCarron.
Thank you, Max, for that introduction. I would like to say thank you to all the people that made this day possible for us. To the MHS admin, teachers, family, and friends. I want to give a particular thanks to Mr. Merrill, our leader for the past 4 years. Thank you for your tireless support. And a thank you to Officer Applegate, who will be retiring after this year. You have done so much for our school. It's hard to believe that 13 years have passed since we first gathered at the Common for slush and face painting and were entrusted with the red pins that read Melrose, Class of 2022, a year that seems so far in the future. We ran around introducing ourselves to the people we would share everything with for the next decade. The people who, along with our families, will be the most important influences in shaping us. We were clueless about the eventful years that lay ahead. Though we have all grown from those small kids, eager for all that was new around us, one thing that has stayed constant is one another. The elementary school years seemed to last forever. They were filled with monthly meetings, field days, pumpkin festivals, and spring concerts. I was lucky to attend the Horace Mann School, where, like many of you, I made some of my best memories and formed some of my closest friendships. As we moved on to middle school, we were faced with whether we were on A, B, or C team, and for the first time, had to find our way to different classrooms, with our grade quintupling in size. Though overwhelming at times, making our way to the school on the Linfells and being so close to the ever-impressive high schoolers left us feeling simultaneously prideful and panicked. Finally, we made it over the bridge to Melrose High, the place we have called home for the past 4 years, a place where many of us have felt we could finally settle into who we are. Although tonight we should reminisce on the good times MHS has brought us, we must not forget the obstacles we face and what we have learned and accomplished from them. Each and every one of us has faced a challenge at some point. Take a moment and think about that difficult essay, a shift in friend groups that left you feeling lonely, the first time you were cut from an activity or did not make the team, college applications that overwhelmed you, the isolation we all felt at the end of sophomore year, and especially the loss of our classmate, Amazing Gracing. Now think about who and how you got through it. Most likely, someone in this crowd was the one who offered a helping hand and put a smile on your face when you needed it. As we venture into the next chapter, keep in mind the kindness you received when you struggled and your own resistance and persistence. The road ahead will be full of challenges, but if we choose to support those around us, success will follow. Not just a first place or an A, but true success, where you can be proud of knowing that you gave it your all. In the words of Horace Mann, doing nothing for others is the undoing of oneself. We must purposely be kind and generous, or we miss the best part of existence. And to end on a little bit of a lighter note, as we talk about reflection, at the end of my freshman year, we wrote letters to ourselves, and I said to myself, if you get to give a speech at graduation, you must quote this man who has helped you through so much, Michael Scott from The Office, and say, Melrose High School Class of 22, may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
Do I look all right? All right. Good evening, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Melrose High School Class of 2022. After becoming president at the beginning of our freshman year, I was asked time and time again, You know you have to give a speech at graduation, right? To be completely honest, I did not know this at first. However, I figured that I had plenty of time to pull a speech together in time for graduation and inform my peers that I was not worried about it. Well, it's been 4 years in the making, and here we are. Hopefully this is good enough. For those of you who may be visiting for the first time, welcome to Melrose High School. The building to my right is the middle school, and beyond that is the smaller, older, and uglier high school building. Thank you. In spite of the fact that we spend most of our time in oddly shaped classrooms with limited access to sunlight, what MHS students accomplish on a daily basis is truly special. Over the course of the 1,374 days we spent as MHS students, yes, I did the math, 12 of our 25 sports teams have won league championships. Volleyball, girls cross country, football, golf, boys soccer, girls hockey, girls indoor track, wrestling, boys lacrosse, and cheer. Of our league champions, 2 teams went on to win the state, football and wrestling, who won twice. Quick note, but on the topic of sports, our baseball team has their first playoff game on Sunday over at Merrill at 3 against Wakefield, and I really hope I see all you guys there. Huge game. All right, anyways, this was the first year of DECA's existence at MHS, and 7 of tonight's graduates advanced all the way to nationals in Atlanta. Yeah, we can clap. Melrose Drama put on several amazing shows, most recently Phantom of the Opera. Robotics continued their success by competing at New England's and qualifying for Worlds. And students made an impact through so many other clubs and organizations at the school. But more important than all of these accomplishments are the memories we've made, which cannot be quantified and will be carried with us for the rest of our lives. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the support of the incredible MHS staff and administration. Though we do not always see it, Mr. Merrill has gone above and beyond to make sure that our high school experience would run smoothly, especially during the unprecedented times we were met with. When Ms. Berman accepted a new position, he assumed the position of vice principal for our grade, adding to his already huge workload. I truly have never met an administrator who cares more about his students than Mr. Merrill, so on behalf of the entire class, thank you for all that you do. Thank you to Mr. Corrigan, who has always been around and willing to help. However, the thing I will remember most about Mr. Corrigan is the fact that he's always been the best dressed person at MHS, student or staff. Yeah. Thank you to Mr. Cochran and Mrs. Staples, our class advisors. Though I was able to see it more than others, they've worked around the clock for the past 4 years in order to make sure we could experience all the fun high school events, barring the Froshmore incident of freshman year. Not only that, but their mentorship has helped me grow immensely as a leader, and I would not be standing up here today without their guidance, so thank you. Thank you to our teachers. It seems like an impossible task to put up with us on a daily basis, but you are all able to do it, even during the virtual school era. Thank you to our guidance staff for helping us through the college admissions process and for always being there to support our emotional well-being. And finally, to everyone in the main office, maintenance staff, coaches, volunteers, parents, families, and anyone else who has contributed to making our high school experience incredible, thank you. All right. By now, I'd guess that over half of you aren't listening, and to be honest, I don't blame you. So in true Drew fashion, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite Kanye West quotes. Nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past. A lot is about to change, but make sure to continue to make and appreciate moments as they come. Congratulations, everyone, and I wish you all the best of luck moving forward. Celtics in 6!
Thank you, Drew and Bridget, for the kind words. Now, I would like to introduce the chair of our school committee, Ms. Jen McAndrew, to the stage.
Thank you, Max. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the Melrose High School class of 2022. Thank you so much to the parents, families, friends, educators, school leaders, and many fans who are here tonight and watching from afar and who have supported this amazing group of students along the way. To the graduating seniors, on behalf of the Melrose School Committee and a grateful community, congratulations and thank you for your leadership. We are so proud of you, we support you, we see you for who you are, and we love you. We see your hard work and your dedication. We see your flexibility and perseverance during high school years that held the obstacles and challenges of a global pandemic, as well as the many joys and triumphs that only you could bring. Indeed, this class has distinguished itself for your ability to challenge yourselves and each other in the classroom, on the fields, on the stage, and in our community. You've set high expectations and achieved them with grace, integrity, and optimism, no matter what life threw your way. As you cross the stage, we will see all of that in you tonight. But above all, we will see your care and your love for each other and for your school. If there's one attribute that characterizes your high school, it is that, love. And that cannot happen without you, the students. Of course, we will all recall your achievements with pride, but we will remember most the way you came together to build this community. You did this in so many ways. When you reached out to include a new member of a team, helped a younger student navigate the high school, or encouraged a friend to try out for the marching band or the musical. When you shared your art, engaged in a class discussion, or thanked an educator. When you texted a classmate who was having a rough day, advocated for your friends, or started a club, or stood up for a cause. You may not have realized the full power of those actions at the time, but they were essential. And that is what will endure. That is your legacy, and what we hope you will carry with you. We hope you will continue to build community wherever you go, using the skills and the knowledge that you learned right here together. And so, class of 2022, as you graduate tonight, your charge is simple. Your work is not done. You have made your mark on this great school. Now go out and make your mark on this world. Congratulations.
Thank you for the kind words, Ms. McAndrews. Our next speaker is one of the brightest speakers and one of the brightest students that Melrose has ever seen. She's our valedictorian, and with grace and with everything she does everything in the classroom that promotes excellence. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage Charlotte Tysall for our valedictorian address.
Thanks, Max. I didn't know I'd be getting a present. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, that's not mine. Okay, here we go. Before I begin, I'd like to shout out one of my best friends, Athena Bastos, who is graduating second in our class as our salutatorian. Congrats, Athena. I'd also like to acknowledge the rest of my friends who have made high school so memorable. Specifically, I'd like to thank Autumn for driving me everywhere, putting up with years of nonsense, and helping me with my lefts and rights. I think we can all thank our friends for making high school something we are truly going to miss. Thank you to the cross-country and track teams and coaches, because being a part of those teams has turned something as pointless as running in circles into my favorite part of the day. Also, thank you to my family for doing absolutely everything to get me here, and my sister for showing me the value of working hard and being nice to people. I'm also so happy to be able to publicly thank our administration and teachers who have taught us all to think critically, talk openly, and apply our individual strengths to contribute in a group and later out in the real world. MHS has some of the most understanding and caring educators who really want to see you succeed above and beyond just grades and academics. To prepare for speaking today, I went through 4 years of memories of teachers, friends, and classes to try to squeeze out a theme to form this speech around. But honestly, I don't think I'd be doing you all justice by characterizing our time here with a single idea or way we all felt. The best part of this school is how different we all are, how we made our way through high school on different paths, doing different sports or activities, making different friends, and spending our weekends differently. I'm not going to pretend like we all had the same experience here, but I think that's a testament to the tremendous amount of student opportunities at our school. We have over 20 AP courses available, 50 clubs, and an athletics department like no other. However, these are resources that not everyone has. I was talking with Ms. Dagger-Kane about this, and she said something that I'd like to share with you today. She said, you can't always control the opportunities that you're given, but you can control what you do with them, so take advantage of them and then give back. I thought about this and realized that this class has worked hard to make sure our opportunities are not wasted. Over 2/3 of the student body has participated in taking AP courses. And in just this past year, 7 sports teams won their league, with wrestling as Division III state champions, girls track second at divisionals, and volleyball in the Final Four. These accomplishments are earned through hard work and full appreciation of the available programs. But like Ms. Dagger-Kane said, it's not just about taking advantage of the opportunities you're given, but also giving back by creating new opportunities for others. I'm happy to say that I've seen this happen so many times over the past 4 years. When the pandemic created a decline in popularity of youth robotics, Brigid and the robotics team created a drive that restored the program and got 150 new people involved. Athena, Kate, and Sophia started a club that assists in building low-income housing in our community and gives architectural experience that's rare to find before college. Harry and James brought Melrose its unified basketball team 4 years ago, showing us that nothing should prevent an athlete from achieving their full potential. There are so many more examples of the members of this class expanding what they had to others, but if I mentioned them all, we'd never graduate. This group of people has taught me that being generous isn't about giving up what you have, but rather finding a way for more people to benefit. Originally, I wanted to say that life is short, so you shouldn't waste your time doing things you don't enjoy. But something felt off about that advice, and I finally realized what the problem was. It's just not realistic. It would be great if we could spend our lives doing things we're passionate about, but sometimes that's just not how it works. Even if we make it to the perfect job or life path in the end, there might be times along the way where we have to prioritize making money or supporting ourselves over doing fulfilling work. And I know this is probably the opposite of every inspirational quote ever written, but sometimes we can't follow our dreams just yet. But in the times when we're doing things we don't want to do, we can remember what we learned in high school, during MCAS, during AP tests, when we studied tirelessly and did hours of homework. Sometimes we have to do boring things, but that doesn't mean our time is any less valuable or have any less potential to be some of the best times of our lives. Some of my most memorable high school experiences are from days of sitting in class and making stupid jokes to my friends while we worked on whatever it was that we worked on. Sometimes we don't have the option to choose exactly what we want to do, but what we do have control over is making sure we see the time with our friends, coworkers, or even just ourselves as valuable and treating it like we would if we were doing our favorite thing. And with this mindset, nothing you'll ever do is a waste of your time. The last thing I'm going to talk about involves spiders, except there's a twist, and that special twist is that it's a metaphor and a life lesson. Here it is. When you find a spider in your house, you can choose to do one of two things. You can kill it or you can bring it outside. Personally, and with all due respect, I don't like spiders. I think they are creepy and they have too many legs. But still, I don't squish the spiders. Bringing spiders outside shows compassion despite dislike or disagreement, and while it's a more difficult thing to do, it shows us that we shouldn't limit our understanding and kindness to just people we like or agree with. Growing up has taught us to be kind to our friends and peers. A lot of our friends have similar ideas to us, and it's easy to understand them because so far we've had similar influences. But after we graduate, we're going to be starting a new chapter in our lives where we go to new places and meet new people, and a lot of them we won't see eye to eye with. And then again, we'll be confronted with the same choice we have to make when we find a spider inside our homes. Are we going to allow our differences and disagreements define how we treat others, or can we try to understand how someone's different life or influences may cause them to have ideas that we may not agree with, and be compassionate anyway? Melrose High School has done a great job leading us to choose kindness. Okay, so I've talked about a bunch of different things today, and you're probably wondering how spiders and doing things we don't like and opportunities are related. Well, so am I. I originally wanted to tie this speech together with something that proved it all made sense in the end. But I think the fact that these ideas don't tie up nicely proves an even bigger point. After high school, we're going to do a thing, and then another thing, and probably a thing after that too. And if we worry too much about making sure these things are all related or represent who we imagine ourselves to be, we're going to miss out on a lot. So let's take the things we do piece by piece and enjoy the journey. Who knows if it'll all make sense in the end, and honestly, who cares? Let's go do a bunch of things and enjoy every last minute. For some of us, we've seen each other almost every day for the past 13 years. It's so hard to believe that tonight might be the last time we see some of each other, at least for a while. So as we move on to our grad night celebration, I hope we can take some time to appreciate the people around us, especially those who have made an impact on our lives without realizing it. The longer I keep talking, the more time before we get to graduate, so I'm going to end this speech here with one of my favorite quick quotes, which I believe perfectly represents our graduation from Melrose High School. In the wise words of Mr. Sawyer when our math class wouldn't stop talking, you're done. Congrats, everyone. We're done.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. Now, I would like to introduce our assistant principal and assistant superintendent, Carrie Berman, to read the honor graduates and Scholastic achievers.
Thank you, Max. Scholastic Achievers. Students with the highest four-year grade point average will be recognized in alphabetical order and will be wearing platinum tassels. As your name is read, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all names are read. Lillian Kinselerich, Kaylee Donovan, Athena Haralabatos, Grace Hazeltine, Stone Lou, Brigid McCarron, Julie Noel, Ruby Robichaud, Charlotte Tysall, Autumn Whalen. Congratulations to our Scholastic Achievers. Please be seated.
Good evening. In recognition of outstanding scholarship, gold tassels are worn by those graduates who have attained honor roll 6 out of 8 possible times during their 11th and 12th grades in high school. Excellence is achieved by students who earned A's in every subject. As your name is read, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all names are read. Jacqueline Brady, Rachel Brooks, Lillian Cancelarich, Catherine Carney, Kyle Shabbat, Kaylee Clark, Kaylee Donovan, William Dugan, Maxwell Farmelant, Matthew Fox, Emmett Gardner, Athena Aralabatos, Drew Harrington, Grace Hazeltine, Christian Iannacone, Rory Kirby, Kayla Coldia, Jasmine Lee, Ethan Lesser, Stone Lou, Bridget McCarron, Emma Magnaka, Catherine Mullaney, Jude Lee Noel, Liam O'Hara, Katia Rizzola, Ruth Sines, Sophia Totino, Charlotte Tysall, Janet Vogan, Haley Weiss, Autumn Whalen, and Matthew Whalen. Congratulations to our students for achieving excellence. Please be seated.
High honors is achieved by students who earn A's in every subject with the exception of one B. As your name is read, please stand or remain standing. Please hold your applause until all names are read. Hiba Abu Chamcha, Emily Allen, Kirsten Barris, Ella Brennan, Anna Brinchero, Ava Burns, Justin Camilio, Emily Chow, Erin Doherty, Shayla Downs, Ione Drew, Morgan Hartwell, Aiden Iannacone, Harrison Jaggers, Sarah Kawakami, Haley Keegan, Holly Lacefield, Madigan Laidlaw, Morgan Levesque, Anna Mackey, Alexandra McGuire, Robert Morrison, Madeline Nurdin, Catherine Plusky, Bailey Pothier, Andrew Powers, Liam Quinn, Sophia Ray, Aiden Riker, Ruby Robichaux, Toby Russell, Bennett Sariski, Catherine Sycama, Jacob Sorensen Jr., Serene Thapa, Sophia Weissman, Anthony White. Congratulations to our high honor graduates. Please be seated.
Honors is achieved by students who earn B's or any combination of A's and B's in every subject. As your name is read, please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all names are read. Demaya Allen, Caleb Anderson, Samuel Barbagallo, Trevor Botto, Ethan Chai, Samuel Chetkin, Jane Collins, Robert Colozzo, Kaylee Carolla, Ryan Cotuno, Brian Coughlin, Isabel Cunningham, Isaac Cushman, Regina Del Ginio, Maria DeRenzis, Andrew DeFiore, Anthony Erickson, Zachary Federico, Isabella Fiore, Yasmin Fuentes, Olivia Galusi, Ava Gisnaldo, Edjul Jura, Elizabeth Grava, Lucy Hannon, Brian Healy, Catherine Hubbard, Abigail Hudson, Andrew Izzy, Morgan Kirby, Joseph Constanti, Kira Kovacev, Anne Molly Lucha, Molly Madden, Jack Marullo, Spencer Maltoni, Claire Morse, Colin Orman, Lauren Overland, Torin Pisecki, Brady Pitcher, Sarah Podrachik, Jonah Paravis, Michael Richards, Melania Segese, Tahina St. Louis, Alana Samard, Emily Smith, Rowan Smith, Elena Sukis, Megan Strasnick, Soren Topier, Arthur Vollerston, and Olivia Webb. Congratulations to all of our honored graduates. Please be seated.
I would like to apologize to Mr. Corrigan for snubbing him on the last introduction. His name wasn't on the sheet, so putting that out there. Now I would like to introduce the hardworking Melrose Chorus, directed by Miss Piper, where they're going to sing a song. I lost my sheet, so thank you to Troy, Gabriella, MC Sophia, as long as the rest of the Melrose High School chorus for that beautiful performance. Now, the next person I'm introducing is a keystone part of the Melrose class of 2022. Whether it's just a smile and a fist pump in the hallway, or you've seen him ripping up for the Melrose Unified basketball team, I'd like to introduce James Kavanaugh.
Hi, my name is James Kavanaugh. I'm really happy to have the chance to talk at graduation. I dedicate this speech and to these special people who we have lost. We miss every day, and miss Daddy and Tennis and our best and sweetest friend, Grace Zink. In addition, I would like to thank my friends and family. A special thank you for my mom who helped to start the Melrose Unified basketball team. And my favorite part of high school. I also want to thank Mr. Mayfield, our awesome Unified coach, and Miss Beatriz, and the best teacher ever in Miss Tunisky. Someone who always supported me. A special shout out also goes to Officer Applegate and my best buddy. Last but not least, I want to thank our principal, Mr. Merrill. Mr. Merrill was not just our principal, but he's also our friend and my good friend. And please put a hand together for your principal, Mr. Jason Merrill.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you, Max. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jason Merrill, the principal of Melrose High School, and it's been an honor to be your principal for the past 4 years. Very proud of each and every one of you, and I'm proud to be a principal. I once sat in those very seats on the same field on this exact day. I can't begin to describe to you how incredible it is to be back here again 26 years later. And today, I wouldn't trade places with anyone in the world, and I hope that you all get to feel the same way that I do right now someday. I want to recognize our teachers and staff. Thank you for all that you did to create this experience for our seniors over 4 challenging years. Teaching is the hardest profession in the world, and I appreciate every one of you. It takes an entire village to make this happen, and included in ours is every adult in that building. I want to acknowledge 2 folks who are retiring this year, Nancy Naslis and Officer James Applegate. They've both helped to create a safe and supportive environment for all of our students for the past decade. I want to recognize 2 students joining the U.S. military. Ashley Murray is joining the U.S. Air Force, and Nick Clark is joining the U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you. Thank you for your anticipated service and for making our freedoms possible. And for anyone else who will go on to serve our country someday or is currently doing so, thank you. I consider myself fortunate. When you turn on the news, or pick up your phone, or certainly tune into social media, it is likely that you will find a world divided or trying to divide itself, and maybe even a country or a community at times. But when I walk through our school, I see a world that is much more united. It's united by the kindness and respect that these students have chosen to afford each other. Your commitment to including one another and the empathy have created a positive and welcome environment. You have chosen to appreciate each other and chosen to listen before speaking. In the words of Walt Whitman and Ted Lasso, this is for you, Ashley, be curious, not judgmental. Wherever you are next year or even this summer, put your phone down and talk to people. People may try to argue that we have become more connected than ever, but I could make a solid argument that we are actually becoming less connected than ever. It's tempting to access thousands of people in the palm of your hand, but I will promise you that the value in talking to the person in front of you is far greater. This world and its people need some grace. Say sorry, forgive, be thoughtful, show empathy and patience. Remember, people are going to make mistakes. It's okay to forgive them. And remember, people can change. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to forgive yourself, too. Remember that everyone has a story. Everyone has been through something. Don't judge them by the chapter that you walk in on. You will all always have roots here. You're always going to be Melrose kids. Remember where you came from. Remember that you all have roots here in Melrose, and you can always come home to Melrose High School. Never forget all the places that you all call home. And I have no doubt that you will remember. Over April vacation, some of you and other students took a trip to New York City. I received a text secondhand that had a picture of the 9/11 memorial with Ray Roach's name. And it read, "Look, I found it." It made my whole week to know that our kids know to look for Ray's name when they go to New York. So wherever you are, whether you're in New York, New Hampshire, or 1,000 miles away somewhere, always remember where your roots are. Some advice for you all. You will have opportunities to make a difference in our world, and some of you already have. You can do it with your actions and simply by listening. The time will come for all of you to change something or to change someone for the better. Take advantage of those moments. Find your true north and follow it with a calm confidence. Adversity is going to be part of life. It's how you deal with it that counts. Surround yourself with positive people, people who want to understand your past, believe in your future, and accept you just the way you are. Don't be afraid to be different and take a risk once in a while. Be willing to bet on yourself. Listen to your instincts and go off script once in a while. Be a good friend, be a good partner, be a good son or daughter, and if you have a chance, be a great mom or dad. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be a good neighbor and grow good corn. I'm going to end the same way I ended your freshman orientation over 4 years ago. Work hard, be kind, and be respectful. The rest is going to fall into place. Now I want you to go out, write your own stories. Class of 2022, keep each other well. Good luck. I love you all. Congratulations and thank you. Go Melrose.
I would personally like to thank Mr. Merrill on behalf of everyone else for the work that goes unnoticed that he does. He's truly the best principal we could have ever asked for, and there's no one else we'd rather have around us, so let's give him a round of applause. Now next, I will be introducing Liz Thomas, one of our brightest students, to give our METCO address.
Good afternoon, everybody. I genuinely cannot believe that I am moments away from graduating. It quite literally feels like I was just moving on from kindergarten at Hoover Elementary School with my cardboard cap walking through the balloon archway. which is scary to think about because in the blink of an eye, another 17 years will go by, and I'm going to be saying it seems like I was just graduating from Melrose High School. Before I talk about my experience at Melrose High, I want to tell a story. This was back in my days at Hoover. Every year, in interest for the environment, there would be a national walk to school day, where if you walked to school, instead of driving, you would get a cool color-changing pencil and a picture in the newspaper. Now, I live in Dorchester, and if I walked to school, I would get there in about 4 or 5 hours, so walking was not an option. During gym class, each student in my class who walked to school received their pencil and stood together to get their picture taken, the picture that would be in the newspaper. I remember just standing there with a droopy face, watching all those white faces smile for the camera. There have been many times in my experience where I felt this way, felt like I was watching a community that I'm a part of from the outside. As you know, I go to school here, but I live in Dorchester, so I am in METCO. However, I have not once in my life taken the bus, which is why when most people find out I'm in METCO, they go, "Huh, you in METCO?" The only way I would ever really spend time with other METCO kids was when we would be called down for meetings at school. It's like I'm only half in METCO. I do wonder what my life would be like if I lived in a cute town in close proximity to my school and all my friends, or if I lived in Melrose. But I only wonder, I don't wish, because I most certainly would not trade this experience of mine for any other. These 4 years, these 4 unforgettable years have taught me patience and how to be mature and solution-oriented. Many of the teachers I've had here have also made me realize that I was not dumb, but just distracted. And my mother, who teaches here, who has had so many students, but has had me as her best student for 17 years and counting, I could never thank enough for all the things she has taught me, and will continue to teach me for the rest of my life. Speaking of mothers, I can easily tell that Miss Jackson cares for all of her students like one. And Miss Ward, although she no longer works here, I could tell made such an impact in so many students' lives, being a mother or auntie figure to her students. There are so many people here that care so much and exceed all expectations because they want each and every one of us to succeed in life. And to them, I say thank you dearly. Going through these 4 years, I would feel between communities, but I have made so many close relationships that I value incredibly, and I would not go to school elsewhere because Melrose does feel like my second home. So I end my speech by asking myself this: am I a METCO student? I guess so. Am I black? I guess so. But am I also white? I guess so. But do these questions really even matter? Do they really? Do they really make up my identity? Do I just think they do? These are some questions I do know the answer to. Am I graduating? I know so. Am I scared? I know so. I know I'm scared. Am I going to make mistakes? I know so. But are there great things ahead for all of us? I know so. My next journey will start in September as I head to Washington, D.C. and head to Howard University, one of the first historically black colleges and universities. Thank you. To the senior class of 2022, take a look at your surroundings and see each other in your caps and gowns. You're a part of a community in which, again, I am watching from the outside as I stand in front of you. But it's not a bad thing this time, and maybe it never was a bad thing in the first place. And maybe, just maybe, it was meant to be this way. Thank you.
Found my sheet. Thank you very much for the kind words and the great speech, Liz. Now, I would like to introduce Beatriz, Bastos, and Olivia Webb to give our class's farewell address.
There's a lot of you. Oh my God. I'm really nervous. Before we start, everyone say cheese. Thank you. Oh. Sorry, guys. Wait. There we go. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. Happy Pride Month, first of all. Yeah! So, I'm like really nervous. Okay. Wow, hey MHS, we're here, we did it. I'm kidding, that's just not the kind of speech I'm writing. I just want to make it clear that before I start, I'm not going to talk about, COVID. I don't want to talk about that. But like for real now, it feels like just yesterday we were making friendships that have lasted since elementary school. Well, for most of you, not for me. Because as many as you have heard my excuse for not knowing basic American things, I'm an immigrant. I distinctly remember my first day at MVMMS. It was the first day of 8th grade. We had a show and tell. I could barely speak English, and I tried explaining to my teacher that I could not go in front of the class and talk. She made me do it anyway, so I put on my big girl pants and stood in front of the class, and absolutely 0 words came out of my mouth. And wait for it, I started crying. Yeah, great first start. I remember going home after that and getting a text from my cousin. And she asked me how my first day went, and what I texted her back was, "This is nothing like High School Musical." Although I'd probably be weirded out if people randomly burst into song and started dancing in the middle of the cafeteria. TV shows are not the best way of getting an idea what American schools are like. Let me tell you a bit more about how I ended up in Melrose, Massachusetts. I've been used to moving around places since I was 6 years old, when my dad got his first job offer in a better office like 5 hours away from my hometown. That was the first time I moved schools. I was in 1st grade, and I hated the fact that I would have to start a new school. Okay, trigger warning, it's going to be very embarrassing. My first day at that school was like my first day here, but on steroids. Instead of crying in front of the class, I was crying in front of every staff member and student. But I wasn't just crying. I was literally on the floor screaming and being dragged by my mom to class. Shout out, Mom, love you. That went for a few days, more like weeks, but then I realized that it would take me nowhere to keep throwing fits in front of people. I finally settled. I made some really good friends. I started my rhythmic gymnastics career, but then 7th grade came around, and my dad told me we were moving again. But we were not only moving cities, we were moving countries, and that freaked me out. We had everything ready, we sold most of our things, got our passports, and said our goodbyes, and hopped on a plane from Brazil to America. 7,459 kilometers away. Yes, kilometers. 4,634.8077 miles for those who don't know the metric system. I would really like to have a conversation with whoever created that, because it was like one of the hardest things for me to know, and English was like way easier. I might not have grown up here, but I did spend the last 5 years with most of you. And 5 years is enough to go through a lot. High school, as they say, is the most crucial years of your life. For some people, it flies by, and for others, it's an eternity, like how it went with me. And it's like most grad speeches say, I'm matured, and now I'm ready to go out in the world and be my own person. But the truth is, I'm not. My therapist can agree with that. Throughout these years, I had the hardest battle with myself. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, ADHD, and so on and so forth. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the courage to talk to anyone about it. At some point, I told some of my friends, but no one knew how bad it actually was. Until summer of 2020. I'm not going to go into detail on what happened, but I can assure you that was my beginning. The beginning of me actually figuring out who I was. It took like 5 different therapists, but we don't need to talk about that. I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but I can assure you that it's sometimes a very long process, a process that takes actual effort and willingness. This is not a sob story. What I really want for people is to get out of here and actually go for what they want. There's a quote from my favorite book called The Alchemist by Pablo Coelho. He's a Brazilian author. That reads, everyone has a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. That's it. I think that pretty much sums it up. So stop worrying about other people's problems and worry about yourself. I started doing that at the beginning of senior year, and I've never felt better about the decision that I made. So when you all leave here today, think about that. Seek whatever you want and not what others make you think you want. The only thing I have left to say is that after 4 years of high school, we're finally done. I just have one more thing to say, and sorry I didn't clear with you, Miss Merrill, but I just want to say that to all the women out here and everywhere in the world, no one can tell us what we can do with our bodies. It's our choice. We are the people that make our decisions. Not a government, no man, us. Thank you.
Ditto. So sorry, I didn't tell my family that I was doing this. I'm sorry, Mom. Surprise. So, all right, before I get started, I'm kind of going to do what Bea did in the beginning and make a promise to you guys. I promise that I'm not going to mention COVID or how crazy these past few years have been at all in my speech, because I think we get it. We've lived it. It's fine. All right, so hi, I'm Olivia, as they said, and I go here, well, went now, you, and I'm here to say goodbye. All right, I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I'm the absolute worst at dealing with change or moving on or saying goodbye, so I know what you're thinking. Why the heck did I volunteer to be up here right now and say the farewell address? Well, since pretty much forever I've been in denial about growing up, which now that I think about it might be a reason why I was still wearing Justice freshman year. I mean, even a small thing like that, which definitely was not doing me any favors in the social department, was just too hard to let go, because it meant that I really did have to grow up and go to high school and actually care about things like grades, because they would determine my future, and that was just way too stressful for me. So instead, I decided to just not do that and try to wear my sparkly clothes and refuse to wear makeup and play mermaids in the pool for a little bit longer. And while I fortunately did grow out of dressing like an 8-year-old and grew up a little bit, emotionally anyways, we know I'm not good at physically growing up either. And although I did mature, this year made me realize that I still have the same mindset, because nothing this year has felt real. Up until now anyways, because try as I might, but it's pretty hard to deny graduating at this moment, standing here in front of all of you. This whole year, I've been going through the motions, doing senior things, but not fully registering that I'm a senior. But right now, I'm here, unable to deny it, fully knowing and at peace with the fact that I'm graduating today, and I'd say this is pretty cool. I kind of wish I thought of relaxing like this at the beginning of the year, or in the beginning of high school, but I've been so busy pushing it away that I didn't even realize that this is pretty cool too. Am I now pushing away all the sad parts? Possibly. But for now, I think that's okay. I feel like everyone needs to do that more. Just stop and appreciate who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at this moment. And if you don't like that thing in the moment, then change it. Find a new path, become who you want to be, which I know is easier said than done. I've been trying to be Zendaya for a while, and it's just not sticking. But I think it's probably for the best, because Zendaya seems like a really hard person to be. But then again, no one is an easy person to be. Everyone individually at one point or another has found it difficult to be them. So I guess we really just are better off as ourselves. I mean, we all made it here today with being ourselves, whether that's as a parent or guardian, staff member or graduate. We've all made it this far, might as well keep going and enjoy it a little as we go. All right, I think I've said what I wanted to say, and I think if I keep going, I'm gonna start getting into COVID, and I don't think any of us want that. So I'll just send this off with a little quote from Mr. Merrill himself from January 6th that I think can work as advice from the future. Very slippery, be careful driving, sent from my iPhone. Thank you.
Now, before I introduce our wonderful class advisors, Mr. Cochran and Ms. Staples to the stage for the presentation of diplomas, I have to give a huge shout out to the two people sitting to my left, my sister Morgan Kirby and Stefan Mikowski, our vice president and secretary. They've been huge for us in the student government the past 4 years, and their work goes unnoticed, so I want to give them a huge shout out. Now, and finally saying that after being pressured by my sister and family to do so, I would like to welcome Mr. Cochran and Ms. Staples for the presentation of our diplomas.
Beatriz Albano Hofer Bastos. Drew Daniel Harrington. James Francis Kavanaugh. Maxwell James Kirby.
Keep going.
Morgan Lynn Kirby. Stefan Robert Mikowski. Brigid Mary McCarron. Elizabeth Rose Thomas. Charlotte Clark Tysall. Olivia Ann Webb. Hiba Abu Shamsha. Damaya Carolyn Shanae Allen. Emily Rose Allen. Caleb William Anderson. Anna Fernanda Abar. Samantha Kadeja Baptiste. Samuel Robert Babagallo. Kirsten Conley Barris. Cody John Bisson. Trevor James Botto. Jacqueline Lorraine Brady. Kira Joy Brady. Jackson Edward Brammer. Ella Joy Brennan. Anna Elise Brinchero. Samuel Norman Brodeur. Rachel Elaine Brooks. Sophia Katharina Bruch. Ava Rose Burns. Jeffrey William Caldwell. Justin Michael Camilio. Sharandre Douglas Campbell Hardy. Lillian Grace Cancelarich. Ava Maria Capuano. Catherine Grace Carney. Kyle Shabbat. Ethan J. Chai. Tina Chen. Samuel David Chetkin. Celine Chachanok Shivathamanan. Emily G. Chow. Kaylee Jean Clark. Nicholas Raymond Clark. Jane Elizabeth Collins. Robert Thomas Colozo. Kaylee Jean Carolla. Isabella Grace Cottrell. Ryan Carrick Cotuno. Brian Philip Coughlin. Isabel Evelyn Cunningham. Isaac Anthony Cushman. Gerard William DeCuna. Jesse Brian Delorier. Regina Ann Del Genio. Maria Caterina Durenzis. Owen Michael Dewey. Andrew Gerard DiFiore. Eamon Dejar. Erin Susan Doherty. Benjamin Mark Donovan. Kaylee Elizabeth Donovan. Mackenzie Grace Donovan. Shayla Jane Downs. Dominic Scott Drago. Ione Amelia Drew. William Jonathan Dugan. Jack Durant. Anthony Francis Erickson. Giovanna De Pace Espindula. Ala Hassan Farag. Maxwell Manuel Farmelant. Sala Faruqi. Zachary Ryan Federico. Itea Renee Figuera. Isabella Jade Fiore. Shay Vincent Fogarty. Thomas James Foley. Matthew Gindy Fox. Yasmin Nasia Fuentes. Liam Patrick Gage. Olivia Catherine Galusi. Emmett Corwin Gardner. Niall Patrick Gavin. Sam Michael George.
Hey, Sam!
Ava Francis Jesnaldo. Ediol Jura. Angel James Gonzalez. Eric Gordon. Erin Elizabeth Maria Grava. James Michael Haggerty. Lucy Hannon. Athena Harabalatos. Morgan Odysseus Hartwell. Grace Elizabeth Hazeltine. Brian Thomas Healy. Max Knight Heath. Colleen Elizabeth Hess. Camille Joy Dalton Hodgkins. Sophia Lemos Resende Holes. Rowan Samuel Bonacorso Hopkins. Catherine May Hubbard. Abigail Geraldine Hudson. Aiden Lewis Iannacone. Christian Santino Iannacone. Zachary Joseph Ingalls. Andrew James Izzy. Harrison Patrick Jaggers. Daniel Kinawa Kai. Sarah Kawakami. Thomas William Keefe.
Hey, defense! Who would have thought?
Haley Marie Keegan. Spencer Ralph Kennewell. Koji Cloud Kang. Emmy Sarah Kilgallen. Rory Elizabeth Kirby. Joseph Daniel Constanti. Kiera Kovacev. Madeline Rose Kozlowski. Daniel Ryan Kress. Shayla Kuldia. Holly Ryan Lacefield. Madigan Kathleen Laidlaw. Julia Pago Lamas. Dominic Frank Lamenti. Jasmine Gerardo Lee. Ethan Latong Lesser.
Thank you for everything, Ms. Chief. Oh my goodness, thank you.
Morgan Ann Levesque. Stone Liu. Anthony Raphael Jenas. Patrick Lucian. Anne Molly Piva Lucha. Anna Lois Mackey. Shannon Phyllis Makowski. Molly Emma Madden. Alexandra Catherine McGuire. Jenna Colette McGuire. Riley Catherine McGuire. Liam James Marr. Luke Thomas Marr. Miles Eamon Mahoney. Julia Elizabeth Mackery. Aiden James McCarthy. Justice Amor McLean. Joshua Francisco Mena. Jack Thomas Marullo. Audrey Jane Methot. Emma Catherine Minyaka. Dana Isabella Michelena. Val Maloney. Spencer Antonio Moltoni. Chelsea Mondelise. Robert Raymond Morrison. Claire Miyabi Usui Morse. Catherine Elizabeth Mullaney. Ashley, oops. Ashley Maria Murray. Madeline Margaret Nurden. Jude Lee Anastasia Noel. Liam Joseph O'Hara. Connor Christopher O'Leary. Paulo Policarpo Oliveira. Colin Kevin Ormond. Matthew Kern Ormond. Lauren Michelle Overland. Christopher Paul Jr. Evelyn Madison Pelton Jones. Carolyn Hope Perperian. Taylor Rose Pesci. Kalina Lee Piasecki. Torin John Piasecki. Naima Irene Pierre. Brady Ryan Pitcher. Catherine Rose Plusky. Sarah Elizabeth Padragic. Jonah Alexander Paravis. Bailey Grace Pothier. Andrew William Powers. Brigid Evelyn Price. Caitlin McHugh Price. Liam Adrian Quinn. Abish Qureshi. Abraham Sawyer Ramsey. Sophia Lubov Ray. Michael Daniel Richards. Aiden Jonathan Riker. Katya Audrey Rizzola. Natalie Joy Roberts. Ruby Cecilia Robichaux. Ariana Shagagi Rod. Samuel Clement Rossi. Toby Christine Russell. Nicholas Garrity Ryan. Ruth Marie Sautens Ruiloba. Melania Joy Sagisi. Tahina Kenji St. Louis. Safawat Islam Sejan. Shami Aiden Salakram. Erin Elizabeth Sampson. Brian Enrique Dos Santos. Nicholas Anthony Sasso. Bennett Gabriel Sariski. Peter Jordan Sevestianov. Catherine Kelly Sikkema. Alana Lorenza Simard. Emily Lorraine Smith. Gavin Michael Smith. Rowan Thomas Smith. Jacob Adam Sorensen Jr. Jackson Cole Cerise. Elena Emanuela Sukos. Saoirse Catherine Stallings. Alexander Jacob Staples. Michaela Lauren Stead. Kerry Ann Stozel. Megan Elizabeth Strasnick. Kaylee Alyssa Sullivan. Thomas James Sullivan. Soren Elizabeth Topier. Serene Thapa. Sean Francis Thomas. Parker Brown Thornton. Sophia Gianna Totino. Roberta Rocha Trindade. Prashanta Udas. Zoe Alexandra Vanderveld. Jaden Christopher Vogan. Anthor Rayburn Volertson. Haley Ann Weiss. Sophia Isabella Weissman. Autumn Elizabeth Whalen. Matthew Robert Whalen. Anthony Christopher White. Nico Bianco White. Malcolm Abraham Whitfield. Inc. Florian Wilson. John Thomas Wozniak. Faith Elise Urick. Mateus Rossi Velasco Zanelli.
Let's give all the graduates another warm round of applause. So within the process of becoming the MC, I had to write a speech to get this. So they asked me to share my last part of the speech, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try to beat out the rain. Now the class of 2022, as we sit here together after 4 years of heartbreak, triumph, and great times with each other, I would like to leave you with something that goes unnoticed too often. Street philosopher, poet, and recording artist Drake once said, "You win some, you lose some, as long as the outcome is income. I want it all, and then some."
Hey, Kirby! Kirby!
As much as monetary success drives us, it's not often what people see in each other. Mr. Merrill, every Sunday at around 6 o'clock, would write us an email that said, "This week," in the subject bar. As you read through the email, if you didn't read it or not, I read most of it. Each time, he had a quote, and under that quote, it said, "Be kind to one another." This is what people really look at. In class of 2022, I just want to remind you all, as Mr. Merrill said, be kind to one another, treat people with respect. Now, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, as I'd like to introduce Mayor Brodeur to conclude our ceremony.
We love you, Kirby!
All right, thank you, Max. I don't want to follow Drake, but I do have a secret I want to tell you, and it involves your parents, your caregivers, your loved ones. And we are all here on this great day. It is the best day for parents in the world. And we're proud of you, and we want you to understand that we're wrapped up in the love we have for you and the faith we have in you. And I'd like to say we always have that, but I can guarantee if you ask your mom and dad or a loved one about this day and how proud they are of you, they might not admit it, but there was one point in your adolescence. You might have said something, you might have did something, and your parents looked at each other, thought to themselves, and went, "Oh man, they aren't going to make it. I don't think they're going to make it." But class of 2022, y'all made it. Y'all made it. It's an awesome thing. Congratulations. And I want to say one other thing. So, you did the COVID. We saw you succeed championships, Middlesex League championships, state championships, theater, arts, the grades, the singing. We also saw you in a unique time pick yourselves up and support one another. And I want to remind you of this. Mr. Merrill mentioned this, if you pick up your phone, if you read the newspaper, it can be a little rough, right? It can make you be a little bit pessimistic. I'm here to tell you that pessimism is a choice, and optimism is a choice, and leadership is a choice. And what you have already shown us is that you can lead. So I am here to say the future looks bright. We are proud of you. We are delighted to see you go out into the world, and we're going to see great things from all of you. Now stand up. Take those tassels, move them to the other side, and you are now all graduates of Melrose High School. Congratulations.